And unless the people miss it, I want to hear the Prime Minister. I want to listen to this.
But here's the problem now, Madam Speaker. How do we borrow? If it were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would not be able to approach the IFIs. We wouldn't even be able to approach the international community. But
Raleigh, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we couldn't approach the international community. 20 years ago was what? 2005. What was Jamaica's economic position 20 years ago, Raleigh?
20 years ago, we could get money to borrow from the international community. At that time, we weren't even borrowing from the IMF because we paid off the IMF. We never went back to the IMF until 2010, when Andrew Holness was the leader of government business in the House of Representatives in the Bruce Golding government. And they never even know which agreement, but them take a full agreement and couldn't live up to the terms and conditions, and the man they locked out of the international capital market. So since Peter Phillips come now, we can get back and make our name back in the international capital market. And we can tell all of the trolls them, check IMF, check World Bank, check the ratings agency, and make them tell them when this thing started, when Jamaica became welcome back in the international capital market, and who started. And while we were doing that, this same foolish Minister of Finance, Andrew Holness, used to say, all we had to pass IMF test and now pass the people's test. Sign anything with the man them tell you to sign. Yeah. That's the history, and them to the tools them can check it on any of the international agencies.
Wait, hold on. We have been joined by Conrad O'Brien, but Obi, your background kind of noisy. There's some noise in your background. Sort it out for me. Raleigh. Was there a time outside of that period under Bruce Golding that Jamaica could not approach the multilaterals?
No. So, I want to see what the Prime Minister, our next line will tell is about concessional funding. Multilateral funding is always concessional funding because that is where them set up for. IMF money, World Bank money, always money between 1% and 4%, not more than 5%. So I rather matter.
So you are saying that the Prime Minister... Hold on there. May I play it again when the Prime Minister said this?
But here's the problem now, Madam Speaker. How do we borrow? If it were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would not be able to approach the IFIs. We wouldn't even be able to approach the international community. But the people who tell lies, we cannot allow them to win.
So, 30 years...
The only time that was 13 years ago. Garbage.
So let's go back to 30 years ago, which would be what, 1995?
Yeah.
What was the...
You know, I mean, in 1995, to show the Prime Minister out of touch, and that's why he shouldn't be around the country, because I don't know about the country.
Tell him.
In 1995, we paid off the IMF. Omar Davies, PJ Partners, paid off the IMF and said, ta-ta. Omar Davies passed 12 consecutive IMF tests. The JLP administration and Mr. Seaga couldn't pass a full IMF program. Rubbish.
Hold on there. So the Prime Minister said 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we couldn't approach the multilateral.